What's up, Rick? Thanks again for the videos. If you can next time, maybe upload them to the app. But honestly, it really doesn't matter. Just so I could see kind of what you're doing is super duper important. These overhead presses, man, were solid, dude. I I really think that the bar work was a great decision on your part. But just like any lift, we got to kind of look at the form a little bit. So a couple things I want you to note. First is just your position here. So take a look at your arm and notice how the elbows are kind of inside inside the wrists. So I'm not sure what that position on the left side is, but I do see that, the wrist is a little bent. You want that a little more straight. You don't want it perfectly straight. You want it in a slight extension. And you actually want it to sit right here. And notice how it's kind of over my hand. And if the bar is here, it's not over my forearm. So you want the bar to sit right here, and you want to really clamp it down. Obviously on the right side, you can't really do that. We're kind of stuck with it on the pinky, which can still be right over the forearm. But what I would like you to do is get this left wrist a little straighter. And actually, I want you to bring the grip in a tiny bit. Because what that's going to do is, if the elbows want to stay in, bringing the grip is going to align all the joints. And it's going to remove as much moment force off the shoulders in the elbows, because now it's kind of twisting. It's going to minimize the amount of moment force on the joints on the overhead press. And just own this lockout position, okay? Take a look at your heels and take a look at kind of how you lock it out. The weight comes on your heels, and the reason being is because the weight is forward of mid-foot. So really just spend an extra second or two making sure that the bar, you can actually see the bar here. Watch how it kind of loops around a little bit. Right there. Just spend an extra moment at the top making sure that you're balanced, because the bar path isn't perfectly vertical. It's actually at an angle going backwards. So aim for your forehead and drive the bar back. Aside from that, man, I really like keeping the straight bar in there. On your squats, I've really only noticed one thing, and it's that very end position. I kind of want you to see. I want you to watch the descent speed and notice how it's nice and smooth, and then it gets to there, and then you just drop. So it's right here, just that little bit. I want that descent speed right there. If you notice that, right? Boom. And what that does is, if you notice your knees, once you hit the hole, bouncing down in there is going to shift your knees forward. Ever so slightly. You can actually see that little mark on the wall right there and see what I'm talking about. So stays right there, and it almost covers the entire mark. So just make sure that, especially in that transition phase, you're fucking staying tight as fuck. You did a better job there. I think too it's because you're getting a little bit more tired, and going super slow on the way down becomes a little bit more difficult. So and we tend to go slower when the weight starts to feel heavy. So, and on your deadlifts, I just got one thing to critique here, and it's just kind of your start position. So this one was pretty good, but I want you to notice kind of when you start taking the weight off the ground, like this is you set up in this position. But when the weight comes off the ground, watch how your back angle shifts forward a little bit. See that just shift forward? Now that position right there should be your start position. Obviously, I'm being super nitpicky, and like that one was pretty good. It's still a slight shift forward. But honestly, like I said, I'm just being super duper nitpicky, but if we could kind of refine that start position, everything else looks fantastic. The back looks great. The descend looks really, really good. I know we focused on keeping the shoulders in front of the bar, so, but overall, I'm super duper happy with this. Thanks for sending me the videos, and I'll be updating your program, man, and you kick some fucking ass.